Lesson 11-1, solving two-step equations, okay? 7th grade mathematics, you're on your way. Next level stuff, here we go. Okay, when we take down two-step equations, one thing we really need to take a look at is something we call around here called stinky kid math, okay? And that's the notion that a variable, or basically a placeholder, something that's holding a spot until we figure out what that number is, we're going to pretend like that term is the stinky kid. And basically what we want to do is get away from or isolate that stinky kid. Get it all alone. Okay? So let's walk through how to do that. Okay, so we know here in 6th grade that we do the opposite. So in this case, number 1, 3n is the stinky kid. And what we need to do is get 3n all alone so then we can get to the division of it, okay? So in this particular case, 3n has a partner on the same side of the equal sign, and that's positive 8. Well, to get rid of positive 8, what we need to do here is the opposite of positive 8, which is negative 8. Okay? Part of stinky kid math is also doing the same operation to both sides of this equal sign to balance the equation out. Okay? So there's our equal sign. So if we do positive 8 minus 8 over here, we must also do minus 8 on this side. Okay, so let's take a look at what happens as a result of those subtracting 8s. Well, if I have $8 and I give away $8, I now have $0. So there's nothing left on this side except 3n. Okay, then I've got positive 29 over here, and then I'm going to subtract 8, and that's 21. So now what I'm left with is 3 times whatever n is going to equal 21. So now I've got the stinky kid kind of all alone right here on its own side of the equal sign. So again, just like I did a moment ago with the positive 8 subtracting 8, this says 3 times n. And again, I want to get that n all alone. Okay, so I'm going to do the opposite of multiplying n times 3, which is dividing by 3. So when I divide by 3, again, it cancels each other out. So times 3, divide 3, nothing left on this side except n. Okay, so again, the rules apply where I have to do the same to both sides. 21 divided by 3, that's a basic math fact, and has a value of 7. Now, the cool thing about algebra is I have the ability to go back in and check this. Because remember, like I said earlier, back in the original problem here, let me clear out all this stuff. Okay, back in the original problem, remember we talked about n just being a placeholder. Well, a moment ago we figured out that we think n is 7. And the cool thing about algebra is I can now go and check and make sure that it's 7. Okay? So now I'm going to substitute 7 for n. So 3 times 7 plus 8 should equal 29. And if this all works out, I know that my value for n is correct. So let's check our order of operations here. Multiply first, because there's no parentheses exponent stuff. So 3 times 7 is 21, plus 8 equals 29. Let's just keep going here with 21 isn't very good. Let me fix that up for you. So again, we've got 3 times 7, 21, plus 8 is 29. 21 plus 8 is 29, equals 29. So what this tells me, 29 equaling 29, is that my value of 7 right here is absolutely correct. So the one very cool piece about algebra is you have the ability to check it and guarantee that you're correct. You don't need the teacher to tell you you're right. You don't need your mom or dad to tell you you're right. You don't need your older brother or sister to tell you you are correct. Okay, you can know that on your own. Very powerful deal. Okay, so again, we want this guy all alone so we can find out what his or her value is. Stinky kid math. All right, here we go. We got b over 6 is the stinky kid, and kind of hanging around with the stinky kid right now is 12, and that's a positive 12. So let's get rid of that guy. So positive 12's opposite, negative 12. like it never happened. So this side leaves us just b over 6 is going to equal. Remember, we do negative 12 over here. We must also do negative 12 over here. 16 subtract 12 gets me 4. Okay, so now let's take a closer look at what's remaining with old Stinky over here. Okay, so b is smelly and it's with divide 6. Okay, so the opposite of divide by 6, multiply by 6. Those two cancel, leaves me with just b. Remember, if I multiply by 6 over here, I must also multiply by 6 over here. 4 times 6, basic math fact, b has a value of 24. Okay, so let's check out, let's do the check. Let's make sure it works, okay? So back to the original problem, 12 plus 24 divide by 6, because remember b was our stinky kid before. We're going to substitute it now for 24. Should equal 16. So please remember our order of operations, PEMDAS. There are no parentheses or exponents. Multiplication or division. Oh, here's some division. Okay, so 12 plus 24 divided by 6 is 4. Should equal 16. 12 plus 4 is 16, and 16 is equal to 16. Jackpot. So what that tells us is our original answer, b equals 24, was exactly correct. Okay, so remember, everything's all about the stinky kid math here. All right, let's take a look at a bit of a real-world application here. I think we all love that morning coffee, or maybe we have to get jammed in the car while mom or dad gets their morning coffee, but we're all very familiar with this situation. Okay, so let's take a look at how algebra can definitely be a real-life situation. So a coffee shop, that shall remain nameless, sells a certain refill mug for $8.95. That means you're just going to buy the cup. Okay? You can refill that cup for $1.50. So last month, a young lady named Rose spends $26.95 total on the mug and some refills. Our job is to determine the number of refills. Okay, so that'll be our variable. Okay, so let's go to work on this thing. Okay, so what we do know, let's take a look at what we do know. We know that Rose spent a total of $26.95. Okay, and that was basically equal to her mug that she bought for $8.95 plus her refills. Those were $1.50 each. But we don't know how many she got. So the missing piece, or the variable, the thing we need to find out, is exactly this. X. How many refills of coffee did she get? Okay, well, just like we've been practicing so far today, we've got 150x, her refills. That's the stinky kid right now. What we got to do is get rid of the price she paid for the mug. Okay, so this is positive $8.95, so we need to subtract $8.95 from this side. We also need to subtract $8.95 from this side. Okay, so 5 minus 5, 0, 9 minus 9, 0. Got to borrow over here. 1, 16, take away 8. 8, and bring down this 1. So what we do know is that she has spent... Well, that's not very good. She has spent $18 on refills. Okay, so let's take down this portion of it, and here we go. So $18 is equal to 150x. So what we need to do is divide that by the 150. And the $18 on this side, divide by 150. Again, we're doing the opposite. That will cancel that out and leave us with just x. So what we need to do is figure out how many times can $1.50 go into $18. Well, in division, we're going to have to do a little decimal slide here. So we have $1.50 into $18. What that really means is we have to slide this decimal twice, slide this decimal twice. So we're really going to do $1.50 actually 150 into 1,800. Okay? So, let's see, 150 goes into 180. Let's see here. One time. 1 times 150 is 150. 180 minus 150 is 30. Bring down this 0 right here. 150 goes into 300 2 times. 2 times 150 is going to get us that magical 300 number. So at this point, it's looking like Rose has purchased 12 refills in her mug. She's gone to the coffee shop 12 times. So we're going to say that x is equal to 12 over here. Now remember, we have the ability to check this. Okay, so what we're going to say is $26.95 should be equal to the price of the mug, $8.95, plus the refills, right? $1.50 times 12. Okay, so let's knock this thing out, okay? So let's do the 150 times 12. And I've got a sneaky suspicion that's going to be 18 bucks. So this is 0, this is 0, carry a 1, 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 makes 3. Let's go placeholder 0 here. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 1 is 1. I'm going to add this up. 0, 0, 8, and 1, just like I thought. 2 decimal slides. $18 does come out of the refills. Okay, so let's add our 18 bucks to our $8.95 right over here. And what should it be? It should be $26.95 when we're done. So let's check it. So here's 5, here's 9, here's 16, 1, 2. So exactly correct, $26.95. Our equation is balanced, and we know at this point that Rose bought 12 refills, which was our original task to find out right here. Okay, so that's a lot of work, okay? But definitely a very real-life application, and you can use this in your day-to-day life.